Since Peaky Blinders recently came to an end, the cast of the show are beginning to fondly remember their favorite moments. One cast member in particular loved his role on the show and wished that it could have gone on longer. Adrien Brody's role as Luca Changretta turned out to be one of the actor's favorites of all time. Set in Britain in the early 20s, Peaky Blinders is a crime drama that quickly became one of the most widely talked about shows on all of television. It masterfully blends fact and fiction and is based on a real-life British street gang that went by the same name. The show has a vastly talented cast, including the likes of Sam Neill and Paul Anderson. On season 4 of Peaky Blinders, they were joined by Oscar winner Adrien Brody. Brody's character, Luca Changretta, was introduced as the main antagonist of the season and went on to capture the attention of all fans of the show. Led by Cillian Murphy, the show has gone on to have 2 additional seasons since Brody's departure, before ending in 2022. In season 4, Brody plays a classic New York gangster out for revenge against Tommy Shelby's titular group, Peaky Blinders. While he was only on the show for a single season, Brody quickly became one of the show's biggest assets. He was lauded for his scene-stealing performance and the high energy level he brought to the series. While already having a huge cult following, getting an Oscar-winning actor of the caliber of Brody was a huge coup for the show. The 49-year-old Brody is probably best known for his Oscar-winning performance in The Pianist way back in 2002. In his Oscar-winning performance, Brody plays the tragic, sympathetic character of Władysław Spielman, a Jewish pianist living in Warsaw during the Holocaust. The film has been praised for its realistic depiction of life during the Holocaust and the struggles that many were going through at the time. Brody was so dedicated to his role that he lost a total of 31 pounds to realistically play the character of Spielman. Such a character is truly a far cry from the villainous Changretta. A role slightly more similar to that of Luca he's played in the past was Dimitri, the villain of Wes Anderson's quirky masterpiece, The Grand Budapest Hotel. He starred alongside other talented actors such as Ralph Fiennes and Tilda Swinton in his role as Dimitri. This role got the actor major acclaim in 2014 when the film was released. Because Brody has had such a storied career in Hollywood, it's hard to imagine him truly getting excited about many new roles. With that being said, he's gone on record saying that Luca was a dream role for him. The writers must have felt the same way, as it is reported that they wrote the character with the talented actor in mind. In many ways, it seems that the character of Luca Changretta revitalized Brody's career. While he is primarily a big screen star, his role on Peaky Blinders was the actor's first major recurring role in a television series. He has since gone on to have recurring roles in 3 other massive television series. He played Captain Charles Boone on Chapelwaite in 2021, which was adapted from a Stephen King short story. He appeared in 2 episodes of the widely popular Succession as Josh Aronson, and finally, he played Pat Riley in the HBO series Winning Time: The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. It's amazing seeing such a talented actor like Brody be able to transition his success from one form of acting to another. Aside from giving Brody the entryway into a newfound career on television, he has gone on to say how his role on the show inspired him to pursue a personal passion project. Brody has explained that working on the show inspired him to begin working on his film Clean, directed by Paul Solet, which Brody starred in and co-wrote. The crime drama is about a garbage man with a troubled past who is forced to reconcile with his actions. It was released in 2021 and was scored by Brody himself. His full quote on being inspired by Peaky Blinders to work on the film is as follows: "I guess it doesn't get much better than that, especially when it's someone as accomplished and talented as Steve Knight, who wrote a role that rivals most gangster characters that you've seen. I've dreamt of playing that character as well. I wouldn't have necessarily dreamt of writing that, so to speak, but I dreamt of finding, tonally, a role that was just like Luca Changretta. And it was such a fun thing to do. I felt welcomed. To jump on a show that you love, with great writing and so many prime actors involved, is exciting. It basically led to Clean, because I was very inspired and in a zone. It bolstered a degree of confidence that it took for me to be decisive and to engage Paul, and say, let's do this. Let's go and build this because it's not just coming. So the writing process started right at that time while shooting Peaky Blinders Season 4. So there you have it. Although the character of Luca Changretta is inevitably killed at the end of Season 4 by Arthur Shelby, played by Paul Anderson, Brody still didn't want to leave the show. Even though his character was killed on camera, Brody tried to convince writers to find a way to bring him back to life. While it may have been far-fetched, I'm sure there are plenty of fans who would have loved to see Brody reprise his role by any means necessary. Can you imagine a zombie Luca Changretta making an appearance in in Season 5. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Brody explained exactly why he had so much fun taking up the role of Changretta. He explained how much he loved the style of filmmaking and acting from times past that had more characters like Changretta. It's clear that Brody fully invested himself in the role and truly went to great lengths to understand his character's personality and motivation. With how far he went to play his role in The Pianist, it's clear Brody is no stranger to investing himself in his roles. While roles like this aren't as common these days, it's always special when an actor finds a role that they feel was meant for them. With how skillfully Brody played the role of a gangster, it makes you wonder what his performance would have been like had he been around to star in The Godfather or Goodfellas, for example. Hear how Brody himself explains his thoughts about the role. It had room for all of this fun stuff to honor a style of filmmaking and acting that I loved, and a style and character and lore within the foundations of family, mafia, honor, and all these things. I desperately tried to persuade them to find a way to keep Luca alive to come back for revenge. I really wanted to stay. I did not want to go home. While Brody was one of the most recognizable faces to take up a role on the show, he was far from the only star to appear on Peaky Blinders. Anya Taylor-Joy, star of The Queen's Gambit, and Emma took on the role of Gina in Season 5 and 6 on the show. Aidan Gillian of Game of Thrones and Bohemian Rhapsody was a regular feature on the show as Aberama Gold until he was killed off in Season 5. Kingsley Ben-Adir, star of One Night in Miami and the upcoming Marvel series Secret Invasion, played the role of Colonel Ben Younger on the show, having a baby with Ada Shelby. Finally, perhaps the biggest star to play a role in the show is Tom Hardy from The Venom and Mad Max Fury Road, among countless other massive films. Hardy plays the character Alfie Solomons, who was introduced in Season 2 and had a lasting impact in each remaining season of the show. Hardy quickly became one of the show's most popular characters, and the show did a large part to solidify the superstar status he has today. All of these actors had memorable roles on the show, but it's hard to say if any of them rivaled the performance of Adrien Brody. It makes you wonder which other stars of the big and small screen could have popped up on the show, or maybe who will make an appearance in the heavily speculated upon movie. For fans of Adrien Brody clamoring to see more of his role as Luca Changretta, there is still hope. After the show finished off, fans have been wondering if they might receive a Peaky Blinders movie somewhere down the line. While series creator Stephen Knight seems to have all but confirmed the film, it is still not certain whether Brody will make an appearance. Knight has recently said that the script is almost completed, which means we are probably still several years out from seeing Tommy Murphy and his crew on the big screen. While Brody's character is dead, there is still plenty of room for Changretta to steal the scene once more in a flashback sequence. From all that he said, we know that Brody himself would not be opposed. Are you a fan of Peaky Blinders? Let us know if you'll be lining up for the Peaky Blinders movie when it comes out, or if you think the show's 6 seasons were more than enough. Was Changretta one of the highlights of the show, or was his performance overrated? Hoping to see Adrien Brody reprise his role, or do you hope he stays dead? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.